So let's take a look at the new and updated schedule for the T3 chiropractic system of wealth and freedom. And of course, that's what we teach. The first system, the first tier is how to have a highly profitable practice. Those are four major profit centers, from patient education to new patients to your fees to your overhead. That takes us to the second tier, which leverages time and money, which is how to hire, train, and manage associate doctors. And then the third tier is the number one wealth strategy, how to invest in real estate. Those are the three tiers that I use to retire at age 33. So this is the updated training schedule here. You can see, so Tuesdays at 12 o'clock from 12 to 20. So we do a 20-minute presentation for personal injury attorneys. So we explain how that's used, whether it's sent out before to warm the attorneys up or after we've engaged the attorneys, to used as a tremendous follow-up vehicle with the automated. And so this is done live. They can attend live, and then it's recorded and also sent out. So this is a very good support system, not only to get attorneys, but a support system to maintain and grow the personal injury attorney referral base. That takes us to, that's Tuesday from 12, and this is Eastern time. Now, Tuesday from 1 to 2 is when we actually teach all the personal injury marketing and documentation, all the details of what it takes to not only document personal injury, but all the marketing systems. That is from 1 to 2 o'clock Eastern time. And of course, we record those. If you can't make it, we record them and send those back out. That takes us to Wednesday from 12 to 1. We do the patient education training. And remember, that's the very first system you want to look at. And the most important one to look at, because if you don't know how to, you're not keeping patients, you'll lose a lot of money, and you'll be required to do a lot more marketing, and your overhead will be significantly higher, and your profit margin will be significantly lower. So all the high profit value systems start with patient education and knowing how to keep patients. So that's our training that happens there. Wednesdays from 12 to 1, 12 to 1 Wednesday. Now from 1 o'clock to 1:30, we're going staff meeting and systems. So remember, all your staff should know all the systems involved with processing patients, but also the marketing systems, all the in-house marketing systems. In other words, your staff should be a new patient marketing machine. So they should be trained in all these systems. So that's what we do. And again, these are recorded and sent out, but it might be also an opportunity for staff to tap in live for some live training. So that's from 1 to 1:30 Eastern time. That's Wednesday, 1 to 1:30 Eastern time, staff training and other office systems. That takes us to Thursday from 1 to 2 o'clock Eastern time. Now we're going to be doing to the wealth strategies. The big four wealth strategies are how to invest in residential real estate. And of course, ours is with high quality residential real estate with owner financing. So we don't take out bank loans. And the second one is, and that's what creates wealth. That's the number one wealth strategy right there. As a matter of fact, that's how 70% of the millionaires became millionaires. You have less than a 30% chance of having a net worth over $1 million if you do not invest in real estate. Of course, the first two pieces of real estate any doctor should invest in, number one, is their personal home, and number two is their office, because they're already paying for it. So it might as well go into your bank account instead of somebody else's. So we teach how to negotiate that and do owner financing with those also. Then we go into how to hire, train, and manage associate doctors. That's what's going to create freedom. If you don't have associate doctors, you're stuck in your office the rest of your life. Not only does it create freedom, it creates the easiest form of passive income. So it's pretty easy to make a six-figure income off of a small $5,000 or $10,000 initial investment to get the associate up and going before they break even and go into profit. So then we go into tax reduction strategies. These are the strategies, or what some people call the loopholes. They're not loopholes. They're actually real IRS laws to take advantage of to reduce your taxes. They're based on the IRS publications. So we go into those and how to set up land trust and property trust, and that's for asset protection. If you don't have it in a property trust, your property or your land trust, you're pretty much liable. Now, training also is going to include the first Saturday a month. We will be doing a longer extended live stream webinar. We'll focus mainly on the personal injury documentation or marketing, but we could include any of these topics that we feel we need a longer period of time to cover it. And so here the focus is the first Saturday of the month. And just to be consistent with it, the first Saturday a month from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern time. That time seems to work real well with the East and West Coast. And that's Eastern time. And you can stay at home so you can catch all these seminars, whether at breakfast or lunch, and still enjoy your weekend without traveling out of town. And then number 7 here is the quarterly workshops. And these are huge. This is when it's actually hands-on. It's not just sitting in a seminar. So you actually have to perform. You got to do these things and get comfortable with them. And that's the fastest way to learn. And we do that with the 3 most important topics in chiropractic: new patient marketing, personal injury attorney presentation, and patient education. Those are absolutely, by far, head and shoulders above any other topic in chiropractic that is the most lucrative. If you don't learn those, you're probably going to be very limited in your practice. If you do learn those, you're very unlimited. And that's how I was able to open 77 offices in 20 states, seeing over 600,000 patient visits a year, because we were really good at patient education. In other words, knowing how to keep our patients, personal injury attorney presentations, knowing how to get referrals from attorneys, and new patient marketing, specifically knowing how to get the 92% of the population who are not looking for chiropractors. That's where the business is at. It's not the 8% that are looking. So that's what we teach. So that's what the updated calendar is looking like. And again, I'm Dr. Paul, and this is the T3. That's why I call it the T3 system. It's 3 systems to essentially to be able to work part-time and make $1 million a year. And it's pretty easy to do if you work part-time. If you had 1 or 2 associates seeing 100 visits, between 80 and 120 visits a week, and if you picked up 2 properties a year at $250,000 or less, you're making over $1 million a year working part-time. That's called high leverage of time and money. It's called high quality of life, is what it's called. And this is exactly how I was able to start traveling the world at age 33. So this is Dr. Paul's T3 system of wealth and freedom. First, learn the basics and have a lucrative practice. Next, freedom lifestyle comes from learning how to hire, train, and manage associate doctors. And number 3 is the number 1 wealth strategy: learning how to invest in high quality, high demand residential real estate with owner financing. Again, if you have any questions about this or any of the details of how this works, you can go to my website, drpaulhollern.com, and give me a call. I'll be glad to talk to you about how it all comes together. This is pretty much an 18-month plan. When we have focused doctors, we can pretty much get them there in 18 months. If you're not real focused and you move a little slower, it's usually 3 years. But between 18 months and 3 years, we can take you from where you're at into a highly lucrative practice, freedom lifestyle, and the number 1 wealth strategy, working part-time, making $1 million or more a year.